We're reporting from the Mahaveer apartments. This is in the Mahadevpura zone in the east part of Bengaluru. And just this morning, we also did show our viewers onto this opposite side, right adjacent to this particular building, is the Gopal International School, where especially they had brought in the JCBs. What we could see was the JCB clawing onto the earth, and especially where the BBMP did, of course, go on to claim that this belongs to the government, which means there is a stormwater drain, and the cricket pitch and the playground that was developed by the Gopalan International School was actually sitting on a stormwater drain. Now, that was one of the primary reasons what we went on to see, especially in the IT corridor, that led to flooding, which means the BBMP civic body has identified at least 700 encroachments on the stormwater drain. But however, we are going to speak to the residents who are joining us here exclusively on NDTV. The reason being, the BBMP, the civic body, has demolished the compound wall already because they say this 7.52 meters, now this is the stormwater drain where the basement and this particular apartment is sitting. That has been built on. Now, that is what the BBMP claims. But according to the residents, they say they moved in nearly 15 years ago. Back then, of course, they had no idea whatsoever where exactly is this apartment built on, but all that they knew that the apartment had the occupancy certificate and they simply bought these apartments. So these are one of the few original and the first occupants. Let me go across to Mr. Singh over here. He was the Income Tax Deputy Commissioner, Central Government. Thank you, Mr. Singh, for joining us here on NDTV. What do you have to talk about? You know, you have the BBMP now saying that they're planning to raise this particular part of the building because it's sitting on the stormwater drain. You have put in your hard-earned savings into this. You have moved from Uttar Pradesh to Bengaluru. What do you have to talk about?
Actually, I am a senior citizen. I came here thinking that this is the paradise for the senior citizen, retired persons. But now I feel that I am hopeless because all at a sudden they have come here, people, and they got here demolishing. But for last 15 years I am residing here. I will never hear that we are sitting on the Raj Kalwa. And this
you all had no clue at all?
No clue at all. All at a sudden we knew because we don't have got any written statement or any notice from the authority. They came, they demarked, and all at a sudden they started demolitions.
Okay.
But my society is 152 apartments, all are occupied, and this is the central place. All your technocrats and all your bureaucrats are living here. We are not land encroachers. We are not any problem. We are paying taxes. We are living here peacefully.
True.
And we are thinking for our future. But
I would like to take that question to Mr. Amol, who is the president of the association here. He did, of course, talk about how you all are tax-paying citizens. You all didn't know that it is sitting on a stormwater drain. But what next? Because you all have already, it was all of a sudden that you all witnessed the bulldozer right there. They started their work and they also demolished the compound wall.
Exactly, and this is something which concerns me. I was sitting in my office, suddenly one of the fellow resident calls me and tells, "Bhaiya, jaldi aa jaiye, wo bulldozer leke aa gaya," and they were so scared that they were thinking that as if they are going to demolish the building. I just then rushed back from my office, came here, and talked to the BBMP fellow who came over. He said he was very courteous and polite to tell me that he is not going to disturb the structure yet because it will take due course of law. However, what he told was that he has to erase the compound wall or whatever is a non-permanent structure, and then they probably would take the course further once the notice is served. I was all the time telling fellow residents that, okay, without an evacuation notice, without a proper documentation, this cannot happen. We are not in Afghanistan. But this shocks me to the extent that I feel really, hostile environment. I don't know how to react to it. I don't know
what is next? Because you're telling me that this was sudden and they already demolished the compound wall. No notice, no eviction notice at all. Exactly. So what's next from your side?
We don't know because see, a few of the residents said, okay, can we go to the court and and check. But what do we challenge in the court? We don't have any official communication. If it's almost like rain coming, not telling us where it's coming, and then it overfloods. Okay. Similarly is the BBMP approach here. Okay. They are just coming and telling us that, okay, we'll demolish. How do we know? Where to go to the court? What do we go to the court and tell that, okay, get us a interim stay over demolition if possible? They are coming tomorrow. I don't know. We have no clue of what's going to happen.
Well, it's such I did in fact speak to quite a lot of residents, and they also seemed very clueless. A few of them did tell me that they are planning to move the court. Where exactly are you from? Where did you move from?
I'm from Kerala.
Okay, and how long have you been living in this
I've
apartment?
been living here from 2007 onwards.
Okay, I would like to know that this particular area or this stretch or your apartment adjacent areas, has it witnessed flooding in the last 5 to 10 years?
Not that much. Like, I think this year it flooded a lot. Like,
okay, the intensity of the rains were heavy. And that is one of the reasons why we see, all of a sudden the BBMP have, stepped up their work, saying that, yes, let's clear the encroachments.
Right.
But you as an apartment owner, my question to you is, when you occupied first, did you see the occupancy certificate? Did you try and see where exactly is the apartment, especially what is the kind of site it is built on?
No, we checked the document with the lawyer, and we have registered the apartment, and we have been paying the property tax.
Right.
All the government side, everything is going clear, but this came as a shock for us only.
Okay.
And we were told that this is one document which was given by the builder saying that, okay, there was a stormwater deviation, what they acquired. So this is the portion, half of it from this side and half of the other side, which actually tells you that, okay, the builder has made some provision for the drainage.
So this is the plan by the builder?
Yeah. This is the plan for the drainage system and approved by the government agency.
This is approved
exactly.
by the government?
Yeah. This is the Tahsildar's seal, and this is the thing. Just 1 minute. Yeah, this is the government seal, and this is, and they cannot trace their own documents. Something which they have deviated. Now they are coming back and saying it's not there.
So yes, I would like to take that question here to Mr. Singh as well. So do you think there is a nexus between the government, the bureaucrats, the builders? Because if they are the same government authorities who could approve the building plan, the sanction plan, of course they would have had an idea if there was a stormwater drain or not, because definitely the government officials are in the know of that. But if they have blindly approved such building plans, do you believe that they are in nexus? There is a nexus there.
But as a prima facie, you can easily feel this one.
So the residents are being chased after for no fault of their own?
Yeah, obviously, because how do we know? One, these are the documents that builder has provided to us. We have taken loans. Half of my resident friends or fellows would have actually almost 24 years of EMIs to pay. If somebody comes and breaks their house, who is going to pay the EMI? All the bank things, everything, who is going to take care of it? And there is absolutely no civic sense in this action. I don't understand why such a act is even supported. I know there is a havoc saying, everybody is saying that, okay, IT corridor, who made it? Is it that I carry a stormwater drain from my
Amol, I want to ask you something. Now, if the government claims the flooding is happening because of the encroachments on stormwater drain, tell me what else should the government do now, because there was a nexus there?
I'm not bothered about the nexus. My own concern is my fellow residents.
What should the government do now?
Government should take adequate measures to clear and help us. One, not dismantling and demolishing our houses, but there is a place available. We are ready to, in whatever sense they need, help to. Yeah, exactly. And there is a provision already there. Okay. If they want to magnify it, we are okay. We are okay to get it through underground so that none of our buildings are damaged. And at the same time, it assures us that we are living in a safe house.
And it has already been authorized by the same people.
Yes, I got it. Well, this is the building plan which has already been authorized, signed by the Tahsildar, by the government.
By the same people.
By the same people who today are coming or going after the residents, where they say that this particular apartment right here is sitting on the stormwater drain. Well, it's important to remember these residents, especially the apartment owners, they simply bought these apartments believing the builder, but however the builders have got this especially approval from the government itself. Now those are the very government officials, especially with the officers who are trying to raise their buildings now. Now the only solution that they say is that, of course, it will be that they will try and move the court, but also provide an alternate solution that if that stormwater drain plan, original plan, can be diverted a little to the onto the left of my side.